part one of the BuzzBubble with Mike Sheldon, CEO of Deutsch LA. Now back to our host, Kevin Kelly, on the BuzzBubble.
Hi, and welcome back to the BuzzBubble, where we pick the brains of great minds in advertising. This week we're in sunny Southern California, Marina Del Rey at Deutsch. We're here to pick the brain of Mike Sheldon, CEO of Deutsch LA. We're going to talk about Volkswagen and that mini Darth Vader commercial that's been so talked about since the Super Bowl. Dr. Pepper, the I Exist campaign, love that one. And the work with Kevin Butler on the PlayStation spots. We're going to talk experiential, mobile, integrated, all the above. Let's take a walk inside. Well, Mike, thanks so much for taking some time to climb into the BuzzBubble with me today. We got a little tour. This place is amazing, so watch for that. Let's start off and kind of find out about how you got here. You know, maybe not from kindergarten on, but how you got into the ad business. And I actually sat and had drinks with Mark Billfield yesterday, who was one of your first bosses.
My first boss in advertising, yeah. When I was
and then from
20.
there to here. Wow.
Yeah, so I worked for Y&R, I worked for him. I moved out from Michigan. I was a motocross fanatic, and you know, I moved to California because I could race motocross year-round.
Right.
And you know, being a Michigan State grad, I was in advertising. I wanted to get into advertising, and Y&R had picked up the Suzuki motorcycle account. So I could race and work in advertising on the Suzuki account in Southern California. I was in heaven. It was just awesome. And then from there I went to, I had my own little agency for about 20 minutes, Sheldon Communications. I'm sure you know it well. It's Agency of the Year many times over. And then I went to Chiat, and worked there for 4 years, and then went to an investment firm and did that for 4 years, and went back to Chiat. And then went to a small agency called Fattal & Collins, where I met Eric Hirschberg. And we were trying to make a kind of medium-sized agency, a big agency. And we were on our way to doing that, stayed there for 4 years, and then met Donnie Deutsch. And, you know, we were at the, he was looking for a general manager, and I met him at the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills. And this guy comes down off the elevator, and I didn't know him, and I see this guy with a suit on and no socks and shoes, and street shoes. I'm like, either that guy thinks that's a good look, or he's on his way to Barney's to get some socks. And later I learned that that was a good look for him. And then, you know, 15 years later, Eric and I hooked up the next morning with him, started the agency a month later, and here we are.
So started LA.
Started LA. We had about 6 people here. We were on the 3rd Street Promenade in a little small office, you know, decorated with IKEA furniture.
Sure.
And we just started pitching one thing after another. And in the first month we had Baskin-Robbins, and 2 months later we had the Mitsubishi dealer account, and then a couple months later we had the national business, and then all the integrated business, and LA Cellular, and Expedia, and California Cheese. And 18 months later we were already 200 people.
Wow.
So it's just kind of
About what year was that? How long
97.
ago? Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
That was fast. And those that know you say you have motor oil running through your veins, so that Suzuki thing, and now the Volkswagen. I'd love to jump right into the work, and what great work, what a great account for you with your history with motorsports. And did you think, you know, that this latest work you guys have done, I mean, all the work is great, but the Super Bowl work, mini Darth Vader, did you guys have any idea how big that might be?
Yes and no. I mean, no. I mean, you could have known it was going to get 34 million views on YouTube.
Before the game, right?
Yeah. Well, 15 before the game.
Okay.
We got a big pool over how big that would get. So we didn't know it was going to be that big, but what we did know is everybody that we presented that to all along the process, all through, you know, the U.S. and Germany and the Italians in Germany, everybody just, you know, once they saw that spot, I don't care whether you knew the language or knew anything about anything, it was just so huge. You had the John Williams music, and you've got the little cute kid, you got a wonderful story arc, and you've got great acting by the parents, and, you know, Star Wars, which is like a $40 billion franchise. Like, you couldn't go wrong. So we knew we had something. I don't think we even knew it was going to be that big.
Yeah, I mean, the PR, you know, a lot of people say great work garners its own PR, and you guys got so much coverage on that. It was wonderful. I saw it the next morning, the little kid was on the Today Show being interviewed.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
You guys had about 15 million preview views on that commercial, and that's not something people. It was always like, okay, wait for the game and the big splash,
right. Which we had done for years, as well.
So why the change? And it obviously worked very well.
Well, I mean, the idea is that the press is hungry for stories about television commercials. So why not feed them? You know, and we, for a long time, had just like everybody else, held the spot back so that you could, preview or debut it on the Super Bowl, and it was going to be, it was always about, wow, this is our chance to surprise everybody. But the spot didn't have a natural surprise in it. It wasn't GoDaddy and now we're going to reveal somebody in. It was just a wonderful story. So if the press is that hungry for it, let's give it to them, and then let's fan the flames. And I think even after the Super Bowl, if you look at the coverage overall for the Super Bowl, 90% of the stories were about the ads. So it ends up being the most efficient buy of the year. Volkswagen's own estimates show, we spent $3 million on that spot and got $100 million in value. Wow. And that's not us making that up.
Right.
That's
real numbers.
That's the real deal.
Wow. Dr. Pepper, the I Exist campaign. What a great, the whole Dr. Pepper move and the integration of that whole campaign. Any story about how that came up and
well, we've got
more about the Dr. Pepper work and the integration of online.
Yeah, I mean, just like with any campaign now, you can't even think about, putting something out there without thinking about all the other places that's going to show up, whether it's earned or paid, and that was just a classic example of get the message out and let the consumer take it to where they will. And we try to do that with everything now. We don't think about television or direct or digital or PR or experiential. It's all going to be. It's all about idea centricity and then seeing how it expands out from there. Once we have a great idea, it'll just take shape wherever it takes shape.
It's so many great properties in that with all the characters that we're struggling with people believing in them, and then I saw how we can put those all into their own social profile and the social space. It was just a wonderful execution.
Yeah. I think everybody relates to one of those characters in a funny way.
Sticking with the work, PlayStation. The Kevin Butler character, was that, how much of that was kind of him and how much of that was directed? And it's such a great, unique character, and it's been great for the PlayStation visibility.
Yeah, it's a real business asset now for PlayStation. They use that as they pitch, outside companies on doing software for them. But a lot of that is just incredible casting, great writing. We've got the creative people on that business are just outstanding, and certainly great direction, as you said. Part of what makes that special too is that those spots are allowed to breathe. We don't have to. You'll see there's a lot of features and benefits in them, but it's also not so jam-packed that you don't get the message.
Right.
And I think so many times in this business, you try, clients and us are trying to get so much across, but it's not exactly, and it's not what you put into a spot, it's what people take out of it. And so this is a great campaign where people take away the message and they get the big funny, which is kind of a nice combination.
Right. How about if you could talk a little bit about the co-opted spots? I saw there was a spot that had Best Buy in there and how that worked. It's always interesting to me to see how brands work together, and is there agency interaction, and how did that come about?
It's just really collaborative, and we're real big believers that if you set out to be collaborative, then everybody feels that, and they don't feel like they have to jam their point of view into things. And we did that with our clients, and we did that with Best Buy and with Sony Electronics. Okay. So we came to the party with something, as did they. And we showed them the work, and they instantly loved it, and everybody knew that everybody was going to win from it.
Right.
So, and also
it's
another
a great and unique perspective. You don't see people doing it a lot. The agencies get these proprietary land grab kind of attitude, and it's nice. It's very effective.
Yeah. It's
that's not effective.
We really believe that
it's effective. Let me clarify.
The less you hold on, the more you get. The more you get your way if you just are collaborative about it. It's not selfish. It's you see the spots.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Come out great.
Wins.
Anytime we're on the air with that stuff, it just rocks sales.
That's it for part 1 of the BuzzBubble with Mike Sheldon. Tune in next week for part 2.
Right.
It's now about punch everybody.
Yeah, we wanted people to be playing this not just about the Bug, but the Passat and the Rutan and the Tiguan and the Touareg and the Jetta, because people only thought about the car company as Beetles and Jetta. So that idea was to open it up. So anytime you saw a Volkswagen logo, you slugged somebody.
Next week on the BuzzBubble.